That is one ornate mob spawner, and he's got quite a few other ones. I mean, imagine clogging up this, it being dark in there, creepers spawning, skeletons spawning. I'm assuming he's gonna light it up, but oh boy, we'll see. In all seriousness, though, this looks really epic. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's completely built. This is about as close to a mega base we're able to get with real full-time jobs and not infinite time on our hands. This is so huge. It's his base, and he's going for, by the way, he being Sam, he's going for a Greek/Roman style, as you can see right here. And where he's getting all the quartz is that super epic Roman style villa that has just a million different masons in here. So all of these for him are fully leveled up so that they are one emerald trades. I guess they're just naturally one emerald trades. Never mind, he didn't have to lower their trades at all. Oh, so that's pretty cool. But he's been getting tons and tons of marble from here, or whatever it's called, and the quartz. And so that's how he's building this super epic build. Again, it's not a mega base, but it's pretty close. What have I been working on this whole time? Well, it's a big box. It's a big, gray, ugly box. I've spent many hours on this big gray ugly box while my neighbor over there has been making the Mediterranean essentially. But obviously this is more than just a big gray box. It's got a lot of redstone going on in here. It is essentially the starting point of my dye farm. And so we've got a couple different farms right here. In the main room, we've got a general flower farm, and I think it has bone meal in it right now. So if I turn it on, warning, it's very loud. Very, very loud. Let's turn that off. Press the button. Clear out all that stuff right there. And then it will continue to be loud as the hopper elevator starts putting items into the chest. Now there's no sorting system here. I've just sort of manually sorted it out like that based on how many of everything I get. But this one gets me blue and red and light gray and yellow dye, which means I can also obviously make orange and purple and whatever other things combined there. And then I can take the seeds that come out of there and I can recycle them essentially back into the system as bone meal. So that's the first farm I made. Lots of redstone going on in the background to make all of this work. And then the second farm right here is just these two tall flower farms. And you put the bone meal in here, it goes up into the system, and if there's any bone meal in here, it harvests it. And because I've pushed the hopper and minecart right into these blocks here, then it doesn't go spraying out or anywhere despite not having glass right there, which I think is a really good addition. And it dumps into here, and we've got a bunch of the different dyes in there. So, like I said, this is just the start of the factory, and I clearly have not spruced it up at all. It looks pretty boring, if not a little bit ugly. But we've got a bunch of other farms we still have to make before we have access to all the different dyes. The next one I am going to make is a sea pickle farm. Now, strictly speaking, we don't really need a sea pickle farm, because if we have a green dye farm and a white dye farm, then we can combine it to make lime green dye, which is what sea pickles create when you cook them. But I kind of want it. I want to be able to have all the farms that limit the number of combinations combining different dyes, the manual process. I want to limit how much of that I have to do. So I do actually have everything I'm going to need for this farm right here. We've got the fire coral and then the single sea pickle right there. You should get a little bit more bone meal. But I'm going to go ahead and start on that. This is almost everything the farm needs. There is one key component that I don't have access to yet. But I'm going to go ahead and build this right now, and then I'll walk you through how it works and explain what it is missing. And all done. So I've just decided to put this underneath. Oh, it's nighttime. Let me sleep real quick. As I was saying, I just put it underneath the big ugly gray box, and this beautiful stairwell bumped my head. This beautiful stairwell leads underneath the place, which is where I have made the sea pickle farm. Now, this is a combination of general sea pickle farm principles that I've seen online, and then a bit of my own flavor to it. So essentially what we have is similar to the flower farm up top. We've got this sheet of coral that's getting pushed back and forth. The sea pickles are being planted on it, and they're breaking. However, how sea pickles work is you have to bone meal the sea pickles themselves. If they're underwater, they will spread to coral, a live coral, surrounding those sea pickles. So we actually have to have sea pickles staying there. And if we were moving this entire sheet of coral back and forth, then we would be losing the sea pickles, and we would not be able to bone meal them. So let me go ahead and get those back up. Break those. So what we have to do is we have to keep that center one stationary while moving everything else. Well, obviously, if we're going to be moving the sheet back and forth but not the center, these blocks also can't move, because if we push these, then we push the center one and we break the sea pickles. Now, what I've seen is people just don't worry about it. They just don't have coral in these areas, and they just don't move them back and forth, which is, of course, fine. This is overkill. Even if you need tons and tons of sea pickles, there's no reason why not getting full yield would be a problem. But I decided I wanted the whole thing. So I've come up with a couple different ways of solving it. So let me go ahead and, get a sea pickle just to show you how this works. So this is a really clever design that I hope applies to other situations. Let me go ahead and do it over here, where essentially it is a smart system that recognizes when something is placed and immediately removes it from being placed. All it is a sticky piston and an observer connected. I believe this is quasi-connectivity. I'm not completely sure if that's the right... This is an example of that. Quasi-connectivity is basically magic redstone that doesn't make a lot of sense. But essentially, this block and this block are connected via redstone, magically. And what happens is I place something, the observer recognizes I place something, and sends a one-tick pulse to this sticky piston, which sends it out and back in really, really quickly, which pulls the block away. But then when the block is pulled away, this pickle is removed. This updates again, sends another tick back to this piston. It fires again, and because it's moving so quickly, because it's a one-tick pulse coming from here, this block does not stick. So it ultimately breaks free from the sticky piston on the second go, and it's left in the original place. So that may be confusing if you're not a redstone person. I'm just learning it myself, to be honest. But I just love a system like this. Literally 2 blocks of redstone components that can be as smart as that. That is so clever. I love it. And then the other way I'm getting, so that's essentially how I'm going to be able to clear these right here. But the way I'm getting these to work is I'm literally just stamping them with other pistons that go down every movement of the back and forth sheet, essentially. And the way I'm keeping this coral from dying when it gets stamped and loses its water is there's water underneath it. So this is here, this gets stamped, the water gets removed, but there's water underneath it so it stays alive. All right, that is enough talking. How about we see it in action? So I think I have a bunch of bone meal in here, and let's pull the switch and see it go. Okay, that's not working. Why is that not working? Stop! Okay, so that broke. How did that break? Alright, I see one of the problems. I see at least one of the problems. There is not supposed... Oh, I can't break that block. If I break that block, we're in trouble. There's not supposed to be that block right there. Let me remove that. I guess it's lost for all time. It's fine. We have enough. So that should at least fix that problem. Sorry, it's so loud. Okay, now it's getting placed everywhere, which is good. I remove these, it's just going to be a pain to put these back on. Is there, can I, no, stop it. Yes, I can place it like that. Just trying to make them facing downwards. I think this, I mean, this should work. This should totally work. There's no reason this won't work, right? Okay. It's working. It's working, yes. Okay. So those are getting stamped. It's technically working. I think the timings are... Timings are a little off. I think that's working. I think that's working. Alright, stop. Alright, so the farm is working, but as I said, there is a problem, and you may have noticed what the problem is at this point. I do not have a collection system for these sea pickles, and the reason is because I can't for the life of me figure out a clean way to pick up all of these as the game stands right now. So I have water underneath here to keep these alive, but even without water underneath, the problem is the collection floor has water. So if I put hopper minecarts underneath here, then the sea pickles just float up to the top of the surface, and the hopper minecarts are unable to collect the sea pickles. If I try to flow the water off to the side, I was having trouble with that in a 3x3 space, a 5x5 space, with how Minecraft water mechanics work. It just wouldn't work. There would be a lot of items sticking, not getting swept off into the collection system. So I can't collect from underneath. I can't collect from above. There's no way to collect. As far as I can tell, I've thought about this for a while, and I can't for the life of me figure out a clean way to collect the sea pickles without manually picking them up. So I said I did have a solution for this, but I don't have it now, and that's because it's coming out in the next update of Minecraft. That's right, I need allays. Allays, if you don't know, are really cool mobs that pick up items for you, and you can manipulate them to drop them in specific locations using note blocks. I didn't really see a great need for these guys until this situation, where there's just too much redstone and too many mechanics going on to give me room for a collection system. Once allays are introduced into the game, I can bring them over here, have them collect the sea pickles for me, have them drop them off somewhere against the wall, and don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really excited to actually have a reason to use allay. I didn't think I was going to need one so soon. So I'm essentially going to leave this farm as it is right now, incomplete basically, and wait for the allay to come into Minecraft. I'm going to call this part of the dye factory done for now until I can get some allay in here and spruce up the place. And I'm going to take a break from the big ugly gray box because I've been working on it for a long time. I know, again, it's super ugly, but on the out... What are you doing in there? What have you... What? Okay, that's not something I foresaw. Okay, I don't know how to fix this. Looks like this guy decided that he can pick up these corner blocks because they're exposed and just put them all over the place. Get out of here. Oh, wait, I needed one more word to say that right. So I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to address that. I mean, I can fix it this time, but another one can just get right back in here. Which, when it's raining, is a pretty good chance they'll do that. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Basically, my solution this time is going to do nothing, pretend it's not a problem, and maybe it will fix itself, which I know it won't. But as I was saying, there's a lot of redstone going on behind the scenes, and it sounds like there's a stupid spider in it somewhere. Ah! Can't clean this up. But I have just been working on it for way too long, and I am ready to do some building. Watching what Sam is doing over there with his awesome build has put me into the mood to actually want to build, And we haven't worked on my house in a while, and there's a lot of empty rooms. So I've got this room up here, which is fully functional with the map of the area, my storage-ish system and everything. But the rest of the building is strikingly empty. There's a lot of empty rooms going on here. I have a bedroom, and then everything else is just empty storage space that needs filling. And I want to get to that. Even this room is empty now. So what I want to do next is start to just put stuff in these rooms. And I want to make them have functional themes. So I'm thinking maybe over here could be a library. Then over here could be something or another. I'm not sure. Maybe I could have a guest room, which isn't super functional, but you know, it's something. And I could think up a few different other things that I need that I could put in different rooms. So I'm not really sure. Obviously, as you can tell, I've basically just thought of the library, but I can find something the other rooms can be for. And if there's space for, if I have more space than I need, which I'm almost certain I do, then I can just decorate it, make it look nice. Even if I'm never going to the room, it's nice to know it's not a big empty space. Something I'm also thinking of doing is making a downstairs where I can have some super smelters. I've never created super smelters before, and it would be really nice to have one already because I've just been using Sam's sort of budget super smelter over there. But if I make it downstairs, it would be the perfect place to have things like that. I could make them really big and then maybe add a few other things down there as well. So that's what I'm going to work on right now, and I will check in when I've made some progress. So this is editing Chris from the future. I was not recording my audio for this clip. I knew that happened at some point. So I'm just going to voice over this and see if I can explain what was going on in past Chris's mind. I don't really know. We'll see. So essentially what I did is I finished the library. So we're not going to go and we're not going to go inside right now. We're going to step back. I have not pre-rehearsed this, so we'll see what happens. Okay, we're going inside, and we're going to go to the right, and here is the library, and I absolutely love this library. It works so well. I'm looking outside because I will ultimately want you to be able to see it at night because it's so cozy. It's what I was picturing for this place. And it's functional as well. I've got this enchanting table, and yes, this is max 30 levels. I've got bookshelves hidden behind the wall in those corners that give it the full 15 bookshelves. So it is fully functional. I can put stuff in there as I'm showing you, and yeah, there's bookshelves behind. Yes, Chris, I already said that. We can move on. All right, and then yes, there's also brewing stands here that are fully stocked with stuff. And so there's two reasons for me to go into the library, and that's kind of what I want. I want every room to have at least two reasons, well, at least one, but ideally two reasons for me to actually go into there, because I don't want to just decorate rooms, I actually want a reason to go into them. So it is also completely mob-proof, even though it gets really dark in here at night. The lowest light level it gets to is 1, which obviously nowadays is enough to keep mobs from spawning. And like I wanted to take advantage of the candles, I actually have. Most of the place is lit by candles. Yeah, I'm just walking around now. I don't know what to say. Ah, yes, the Nook. I love this Nook. This is my favorite place in probably the whole building now. I would love to go here in the real world and just read a book in this little nook with my candles. There are people in the library. They don't even know you're there because you're just hidden behind in this tiny little area, just wide enough for me to walk into it, and it's even better at night. Definitely awesome. So I think, yeah, we're going over to the parlor or whatever this room is, the good room, the living room. And the function in this room is not as significant. All we've got is a big map and a music box right there. I timed that perfectly. So not huge needs here, but I will say the map is very useful. I see myself coming into here fairly often, and I love the look of the place for sure. Not as much as the library, but I really like it. And got that old grandfather clock. The fires, so during this clip I was very proud of those. Those are armor stands offset in lava. I didn't think they burned up, but I've been having trouble with them staying there. So I really like the look of it. It looks like a gas fire because it's got that pattern to it. But I may need to do more research on that because I'm not sure if they stick around. Maybe when you unload the chunks and reload them, maybe they break. I'm not sure. I'll have to research that to see if that's even possible. And then you can see the dragon egg as well off to the side that I'm using as a lamp. I did nab that from Sam's house, but seeing as I put it in his house originally. I don't think he'll mind. If he does, I can give it back. Yes, and I almost have a full suit of chainmail armor, which you can't craft in this game, so aiming for that. Oh yes, and then the next room I did, I actually completed the bathroom. Now, I really like the look of this. I love the yellow. It feels a bit more modern than everything else, a great use for glazed terracotta. And you may be thinking, Chris, what is the use of a bathroom in a Minecraft house? Like you said you wanted 2 functions. Well, this bathroom actually does have 2 functions. It actually has, as you can see, I'm showing you the plumbing right here. It has an incinerator connection. So if I throw something into these sinks, it's basically a dispose or a compost or whatever it's called. I threw it in there. It goes to the plumbing, goes down the corner of the building, hidden behind the walls, the 2 thick walls, and it will go into an incinerator room that I'm going to build downstairs. Spoiler alert, I didn't actually build that in this episode, but I kind of knew I wasn't going to. So that's what I have, and then I've got some storage in there, but this incinerator ability is cool and all. I don't see myself using it a whole lot, but the shower is the main attraction. So this is going to be an XP shower. I don't have the bottles of enchanting. Hopefully in next episode I'll be able to get those. But I turned it on, and it just rains down a shower of XP. So, and what's awesome is bottles of enchanting actually give off blue particles, so it actually does look like a shower. And what I'll show you is, just like the plumbing, the functional plumbing underneath the sink, there's also functional, whatever this is called, water tower at the top of my building, which you'll see on some older buildings. And this is where I can put all the bottles of enchanting, which feed right into the shower. And I just love this because this is kind of how old showers may have worked. I didn't do research, but it kind of looks like it. So I have actual plumbing, actual water tower, all of it functional, doing exactly what it's supposed to. That makes me happy when I make a nice looking build that actually does what it's supposed to do behind the scenes. So that's everything I got done in the house, but then we head outside the house because the next project is underway. As I mentioned, I was thinking of maybe doing a basement, and I've started work on it down here. I haven't gotten a lot of it done yet at this point in the video, but I'm going to clear out the entire area and turn this into the next couple different rooms, which you're going to see later on. I honestly don't know if I did the audio for those, so I may be back to explain it for you as post Chris, but we'll see. I'm going to start the time lapse here, and then we're going to check back with you once I actually have some semblance of rooms going. Let's get started! Time-lapse done, and it's actually me. Yes, this is me in Minecraft recording my audio at the same time. My audio didn't work for the rest of that entire project, so I just decided to hop on and re-record, show you what I've done. This is the end of the video anyway, so it's not a big deal. But yes, you saw in the time-lapse that I cleared out the area and added in the walls, ceiling, and floor. But what I have continued to do is actually make the kitchen. So as you can see out here, we've got some of these like underground window things, and we're not going to be on this side because I have put the kitchen into the other side. And the reason I have stairs on the outside is because when I was building this, I just straight up forgot to add a staircase, and I like this too much to remove it. And I don't really want to make this staircase smaller to add a staircase down here. I might add something right there, but then just it may not end up happening. I may just have the staircase outside, be impractical for the kitchen, but whatever. So yes, you can see over there, there's the kitchen right here, and we come down, and I just love this room. Every room I've made has turned out way better than I expected. not a lot of experience in interior decoration in Minecraft, so or anywhere for that matter. So I'm just really pleased how this looks. The beehives as the countertops. We also have a couple more sinks that work for the incinerator. They're going to be connected up to the incinerator, and just a bunch of different types of food. Either this is sugarcane or it's like sacks of produce. Either one works. We got a bunch of stuff in the barrels. And then the two functionalities you may be asking is like, okay, well, why would you ever go into the kitchen? Now, this is a stretch. I don't see myself coming in here very often. But one, I have a super smoker, or at least a budget super smoker, where I can put in the meat into there, and then the materials to cook, and then I can cook up materials really easily, really really quickly. And I don't have much of a need to be cooking meat because I have carrots, and carrots are all I need. But at least that's a function. And then the other function is right here. If I ever want to be able to, yeah, sometimes I hear bees. I thought there were bees in these, but I've actually looked at every single one of these, and I can't for the life of me see any bees. They haven't come out, so I'm not sure. I may have a bee problem in here. But over here is the other benefit. I can quickly bone meal and like this. It's easier to show than to describe. Just quick harvest any of these three resources that I have right here. And then I also have some wheat seeds in there if I want to speed harvest wheat as well. So if I ever just need a good lot of any one of these three, I can just come down here. I don't have to plant an entire farm for that. Again, I don't see a lot of function for this. We already have a massive carrot farm that I can go to that would be a lot faster than this. And I'm never going to need beetroots or potatoes, honestly. So really the only thing this would be for is maybe wheat. But probably in the next update, there's probably going to be a good reason to make a wheat farm, like a really large wheat farm, because I think wheat is about to become very useful. But stay tuned for that in the next update. That's just a teaser. And I really like the look of this little smoker. I wish the smoke would go all the way up, but I really like the feel of that. So this is the kitchen. Now you may be asking, what is in the next room? Well, first of all, the next room is the boiler, and second of all, the next room is empty. There is no boiler in here. So I will have two super smelters here. I'll have the incinerator probably in this corner. I'll also bring my netherwort down here. I just like the idea of netherwort needing dark, dry, and hot areas, which would be this room. So that's not the case, but I think I'll put the netherwort farm down here just because it meets with the theme. So this room will actually have three functions, and I don't think I'm going to decorate it a whole lot. I think I want the machinery to do the decorations for me. And that will be what I will do either between episodes or in the next episode. We'll see, depending on the entertainment value of it. Either way, I'm really pleased how this episode went. Well, maybe not so much the recording bit, but the work I got done, especially in the building department, I feel like I'm at least keeping up with Sam with the details as opposed to his awesome, massive build that he's working on. So I'm going to leave it there for now, and I will pick up with you either when this room is completed and I'll show you around, or as I'm working on it. Either way, that's going to do it for this episode. If you liked it, please leave it a like, and I will see you in the next one.